Welcome to Gloria's Gab Live. I am delighted today to have two wonderful people that love dogs and love animals. You've met if you've been watching my show, you know you've met Carol Caridad, with the founder and CEO of Paws4You. It does such amazing rescue work in our community. And now we have Balance Paws, Franco Sicheri.
Yeah, you got it.
And they've been working together, and it's been a great relationship. And what you've been able to do for Paws4You is amazing, and we're going to learn about that today. First, we have to thank our sponsor, South Florida PBS. Don't forget about the Da Vinci art experience that's going on. It's in Boynton Beach, and it's worth a drive. I'm telling you, an amazing immersive art experience. And they're taking lots of kids from South Florida, and they're doing the experience for free. But it doesn't even cost that much to do it, and it's so worth it. Anyway, let's get started. Paws4You continues to save animals, and how did you two get together, and how did you even learn about him? Because he's got an interesting story we'll find out about later.
So Franco and I met, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 years ago. Actually, even longer.
Probably longer than that.
Going into 20,
close to a decade.
And we had heard his name because he was worked with other partners, rescue partners that we have. And at the time we had a couple, I called them our troubled children, our troubled pups that really needed some hands-on. And the shelter environment just isn't always a good environment for dogs to be in for a long time. And these dogs had been with us, Radar particularly, for what, a year or 2 years?
We had him for a year before I took him. Yeah.
And then Franco took him home and did a board and train with him. And then our relationship, just here and there, we would kind of cherry pick the ones that needed extra help and extra structure. And these dogs ended up in beautiful adoptive families.
Yeah. And the funny thing, let's talk about your story, because it's an interesting story how you started your business. But you started with your own pet bull.
So yeah, so I was gifted by a good friend of mine my very first dog as a young adult. I was in my late teens, and I did a good job with her, I guess. She was in the neighborhood. She had a lot of exposure and a lot of positive interactions, and she was a great dog. And I was known in the neighborhood as the pit bull guy. But sadly, she was stolen from me. And in searching for her, I had no idea what a rescue was. I didn't even know that was a thing. And I came across a lady that said she may have my dog. And I went to her house, and she had her rescue save a death row dog. But she was struggling tremendously with a lot of large breed dogs in a very enclosed space. And it was a dangerous situation for her at the time. So my fiance at the time felt the need to tell me that I needed to help her.
And you told me the woman had bites?
She had bite marks on her. The dogs had bite marks on them, fresh bites, which was very troubling because they were all loose in the house and very dangerous, really.
Right.
So I did help her. And in helping her, she started to send me out to people that had adopted dogs. And it didn't take very long before that turned into a business, and I had a real job once upon a time. And I remember very quickly saying,
now you have a job you love.
Now I don't work anymore. I play with dogs, and I get paid for it, and it's pretty awesome.
Pretty sweet. It's great when you have a job you love like that, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Did she find your dog?
No, unfortunately, Nana was never recovered.
Oh.
My hope is that since she was such a great dog, she ended up with people that loved her very much, and she's probably not around at this point. This was a long time ago.
She probably got sold by whomever sold her.
I would hope not. I would hope that. So there is a story. People did see an incident where a pickup truck with a boat saw the dog and took her.
Oh, really?
So I'm just hoping, it was a family that wanted her and, just didn't want to give her back.
Didn't want to give her back. Yeah. So tell me so what are you doing? Tell me how Franco has been able to help you.
So Franco and I reconnected a few months ago, and we have a lot of new staff at Paws4You. And my dream is to always have, whether it's a buddy walker, a volunteer, or a staff member, always to mimic the same behavior when they're handling a dog so that there's consistency. So that way it gives the dog a better opportunity also when it goes home, right. That they're not returning it for bad behavior, or we already know what certain triggers the animal might have. because of the newer stuff, I really wanted to invest in them also. So we talked to Franco, and Franco's come out and he's really put together a shelter plan on how to properly handle these dogs going into a run, going into a yard, taking them on a field trip, taking them to the falls to walk around. It's just been, it's been great. And some of the dogs that the staff in the past or the buddy walkers have been a little bit hesitant of handling because they think, oh, maybe their dog aggressive, or they're just unsure. There's too much excitement when they go in to approach the dog, that Franco's really showing them that dog really isn't dog aggressive. It's just got all this pent up energy from being in there in the challenging situation for being boarding for so long. Some of the dogs that you'll see today that we're putting up on the screen have Baxter is a black dog with pointy ears. He'll be a year old on December 25th on Christmas Day, and he's been with us for 10 months.
Oh my goodness.
So we have other dogs. Blake is a husky. He's been with us going on 2 years.
Do you want to put them up and we can
Sure,
you can talk about them?
Yeah, wasn't sure how they were going to loop, but Franco's really come, and this is Baxter here, and you know, Franco gets him on a leash, and the poor dog just shuts down with all the other dogs barking, but then he's a lap dog in the yard. So I don't know if you want to share anything, but it's been tremendous.
So Baxter is kind of an example of what the shelter environment does for dogs. They experience other dogs experiencing anxiety and stress, and they learn that that's the way to cope with, for example, people walking by the run or dogs being let out. So part of the process that we try to incorporate in shelter is creating a calmer situation before they move through their everyday logistics, like just kind of moving from the run to the yard, going out. And that helps kind of reduce anxiety overall. Dogs are very smart. They're like children. They're sponges that are absorbing. So while you're working with Baxter on the runs, the other dogs are really watching, and you start to kind of just see the intensity lowered throughout the shelter.
So they know what to expect.
Correct,
kind of
right? And that's what she was talking about, consistency. When we have consistent interactions, the dogs begin to understand, okay, this is how it's going to go. This is what I need to do. And they feel much more comfortable.
Yeah, that's great. So,
there you go. Look at him.
He's such a good dog. He'll make such a great family.
He is a sweet, sweet boy, that's for sure.
Oh,
and with the holidays approaching, we would
I was going to say,
love to have people consider a young adult dog rather than just a
it's
cute,
nice
white,
because they're already
puppy.
trained. You don't have to worry about, you know.
So, which is another fantastic thing that Paws4You is going to be able to provide with our weekend group training classes that I'm sure they're going to continue once I'm after I'm gone. So yeah, they have resources for the community and their adopters to continue training or to understand how to manage the dogs properly so that they could avoid common issues that arise after a dog gets adopted.
Right. Well, you know what? My daughter was pet sitting a dog, and they have a cat, and the dog doesn't like cats, and actually the dog got out and got to the cat and had it in its mouth.
Yikes.
And so it was, my daughter ended up being the one that got bit, trying to take them. But are there ways to train dogs to get along with cats and other animals?
So absolutely, right? Dogs are social animals. By nature, they are social. They don't want to just kill. Not everything is food, especially when they are fed. Right. So there is no need for hunting. Now, not having the need to hunt and drain energy in that way does make us have to supplement that exhaustion of energy in different ways. And that's why learning how to walk your dog properly, exercise like biking and the treadmill, which are things that we do in the shelter.
The treadmill. I love that idea.
Yeah, well, it's actually a dog treadmill.
Do we
it's a
have
dog
a picture
pacer.
of that by chance?
You know what? I have videos of that I should have sent you guys because it is adorable to see these dogs. And the reality is a lot of people are like, well, I don't know. This seems cruel. But 99% of dogs that you put on a treadmill love the treadmill. They ask for it. They they stand on the treadmill and look at you like, hello.
Come on, let's go.
Yeah,
let's
absolutely.
Go. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Much like you being able to do some exercise and coming out and being like, I feel good.
But I wonder if people that have treadmills even think about doing that for their animals.
Not a lot of people do. I mean, I have a lot of clients, and I do ask them what resources they have when we get started, right? Do you have a bike? Do you have rollerblades? Do you have a pool? Do you have a treadmill? And most people that do have a treadmill, we will incorporate that into the training program.
Okay, so what would you do if somebody had a pool? Would you teach have the dog
Absolutely.
swim?
Yeah, some
Yeah.
controlled. Like it
yeah.
would be more like not so much, pool day, let's have a blast, or more like let's go to swimming class, where it's more structured and controlled and stimulates the dog not just physically but mentally as well.
Oh, okay. So do you swim with them when you're
You can. I mean, so what I do in the pool as far as the training is kind of like you know those round pens where they have horses and they train the horses.
yeah,
to run?
yeah.
You essentially do the same concept
out.
for the dog, and then once the dog becomes
hilarious.
adjusted and consistent, then you can have a pool day.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
So what were the most unusual things he brought to you and your staff?
Probably me.
But no, I other than you, what kind of therapies or programs were the things you thought were most useful?
Most useful.
Yeah.
I think the leash training with the proper slip leash and where to position it on the dog's neck, because sometimes people look at it, looking at a slip leash, are like, oh, you're going to choke the dog, or it's not on the dog properly. I think that's really taught everyone how to handle the dog properly, because as you explain it well, there's 3 areas of the animal's neck, and you want it up
Carol,
higher.
you're paying attention.
Come on.
Nice.
I'm learning from the best.
Very nice.
So, you don't want to cut their air off. You don't want to mess with their trachea, but it also, you control the dog a lot better as well, because you can control where the head's going when you're walking it through, all the dog runs and the dog's looking to see who's, barking at them or whatever, and you can get them to transition them more smoothly into where they need to go. So I think that's been very helpful. And I think it's been helpful coming from someone other than me. It's kind of like you don't listen to your mom, but you'll listen to
Exactly.
the next person that comes in, because I can talk till I'm blue in the face and that gate's going to be left wide open again. And now Franco comes in and says, hey, that gate's there for a barrier, for a reason, let's go. And I think that the end result is we want to see these dogs get home. They are good dogs. And we don't want to see them grow up in a shelter. So I think Franco's really spun that into, if you all do this, these dogs will find homes. So that's been very special.
Right. Yeah. And so do you go out and how do you promote the adoption of the dogs? Because I know, and you kind of make sure that you qualify them a little bit.
Yes.
Make sure that you're not just giving them and
Correct.
It's going to be,
Correct. We want to make sure that it's the right match, right?
Exactly.
I mean, I've said this before. It's like going to the mall, buying a pair of shoes without trying them on. You get them home and they're like the worst fit ever. So we want it to be a good match, because a lot of times people see the white, cute, fluffy dog online and they apply, and well, maybe it has an underlying issue, or maybe you have a young child and this dog, we try to match them. There might
Do you
be a
have
better.
people come and visit the dogs
We do.
first?
We have an open house once a month, and
Okay.
we already had ours for December, but we do have an application process. So we encourage you, if you're interested in adopting, to fill out the application online first. Then an adoption coordinator will get in touch with you, share with you more about the dog's personality. They'll invite you for a meet and greet, and we'll see if it's a match. We also go to PetSmart, Petco, and Pet Supermarket. All that can be found on our website.
Okay.
And on these pack walks, they're going to the falls with little Adopt Me sleeves on their leashes.
Oh, really?
They went down to the People's
That's
Dock
good.
by the Deering Estate.
Look right there.
There's the People's Dock.
Oh, look at that.
So and half these kids that work with us, they've never experienced the People's Dock. So it's a feel good for them as well.
Yeah.
That's a volunteer of ours.
Yeah.
So we're just trying to get around town as much as we can, Sophie.
Oh, look how cute.
Yeah, to get new audiences
Right.
and really show these dogs and show how well behaved they really are.
Right.
Yeah.
So, have you ever thought about having a holiday parade with your dogs?
That sounds pretty
Wouldn't
fantastic.
that be fun?
Do that.
So I know that Cutler Bay has their Christmas, their New Year's, 4th of July. They have the parades with the golf carts and stuff
Halloween.
like that.
Why not put a whole
That would
group?
be a fantastic idea.
Well,
gotta
how
get some
about the
golf
King
carts.
Mango Strut too? Or is that like way too much?
We might be able to
Craziness.
do that. And I was in South
Anybody
Miami
can do
last
the King
weekend,
Mango Strut.
and they had the South Miami Parade, and we used to do that. So I think that's something that we need to look back into, how we can connect with the new director
There
of
are
that parade.
a ton of people at that parade. So if you could just get a marching unit or a walking unit.
And that's so great to get the dogs exposure so people could see them, but more so, it's great for the dogs to really experience something they're not used to and that can potentially freak them out, right? Make them really stressed and anxious. And when we get them there and we know how to manage them and how to guide them through that situation, it begins to prepare these dogs for adoption.
Paws ought to, and you two ought to get together and come up with a unit. Decorate them, do something funny. They like you to be funny. So that's like one of the criteria is to come up with the funny theme.
I like it.
I went one year and I became a friend of Fred's because they had the marching Freds. Remember Fred Tasker that used to be with it? Yeah. I guess he started that, and there were like 300 Freds. And now it got down to just a handful after COVID. So I was there kind of taking pictures and whatever.
We're going to dress the dogs
and they
up
said,
as Fred?
do you want to march with us? And I go, I'll tell you what, if I'm back here at, before the parade starts, I'll march with you. And they said, we have a sign for you, friend of Fred. And so now I've got other people that are marching with Freds.
That's cute.
But different nonprofit groups, a lot of nonprofit groups participate because it's great exposure, So it wouldn't hurt for you guys to do that together.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can go online. I think they have apps online. I haven't done it. I haven't looked into that, but it's just, you can Google it and figure it out. But anyway, it'll be fun. Yeah. If you do that, I will be there and take pictures.
Nice.
I'll get you press. I promise you. So tell me, what else is coming up that you want to talk about?
Next year, our annual gala is going to be in March. It's going to be at the Cruise Building in Coconut Grove, and it's a Mardi Gras theme. So everyone's very excited about that. And then in May, we're bringing back a golf tournament that we used to do way back in the day. And this year, it's going to be in May, and it's going to be at the Miami Beach Country Club. Okay. So everyone's very excited.
The Miami Beach, I'm trying to remember where that is.
Golf Country Club. I'm going there Friday for my daughter's, her school's having a golf tournament, so I'll check it out. I'm volunteering so I can
so you can get the lay of the land.
And get the lay of the land, yes.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. Mm-hmm. Yeah, golf tournaments are great. Yeah, so you need to send me stuff on all this stuff.
I'll send it to you.
So we can,
thank you.
Get you some, awareness of it. And so do you have the prices set up and that kind of stuff yet?
Not yet, but it'll be on our website.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it'll all be on our website.
Okay, and your website is?
www.paws, P-A-W-S, 4you.org.
Okay, that's easy enough, right? So how about you? You have a website?
I have a social media.
Social media.
You can follow me on Instagram at balanced_paws.
Okay, so do you do your own podcast?
No, but that's a great idea.
Why not?
I don't know. I play with dogs for a living. I told you, I retired like 20 years ago.
Yeah, right.
No, but that is a fantastic idea, and that is something that I have thought about. It's just I haven't put it into motion, but this could be motivating and inspiration to put it into motion.
The thing is, it seems to me that it could be another source of revenue for you because you've got the experience and to share tips with people all over the world.
Well, I'm actually
how you do stuff.
Moving out of the country soon.
You are? Where are you going?
I'm going to Spain.
And where in Spain?
Next year. I'm going to a place called Malaga.
Malaga, of course.
Of course. Have you been?
No, I've only been to Madrid, Toledo,
Okay.
That was a long time ago.
It's in the Toledo region in Andalusia.
Yeah. So, and what brought that on?
Life, and I've done a lot of work here. I'd like to do some work over there as well.
So you're going to do your dog thing there?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm always going to do my dog thing. For sure.
Well, so the podcast would lead up to your moving there.
Or I could continue it where I could still have an impact here in the States.
Exactly.
And like you said, around the world.
And a
that's
lifeline
pretty actually exciting.
Paws4You here. So you...
Oh, no, we're going to stay in contact, man.
Well, no, you could Zoom meetings.
Right,
absolutely.
Zoom classes.
Which is something that I do now.
Oh, you do now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
So anybody could reach out if they want to do, they don't have to be local in South Florida to work with me.
So they just go to look up Balanced Paws and...
Yeah, Balanced Paws. You could give me a call, reach out through me through text message, through private messages on DM, and I would gladly reach out back and help.
Well, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't have a dog. Or
Well, we're gonna have to get you one. Come by the shelter and you can check out some of the
you
dogs
know
we
what?
have.
I wouldn't do that to a dog. The dog would have to hold it from,
I mean,
7
look at
in the
that.
morning.
How would you not want something that beautiful?
I'm telling
and
you,
cute
no,
and
I
adorable?
would. But the dog would have to hold it from 7 in the morning to 10 at night. That's not fair.
So that is a responsible thought process, which a lot of people unfortunately don't really consider.
I wouldn't do that.
So kudos.
Yeah, no. I would. We've had dogs over the years, but now I'm a widow, so I don't have a second person to, during the day. Yeah, but but dogs are great. I love dogs. Yeah.
You should come by anyway.
And
Maybe you could just hang
be
out.
a dog walker. Yeah, because I've got so much extra time.
Which is one of the great things about Paws4You that has really surprised me is how invested their volunteers, their buddy walkers, as they call them, are. I mean, they are hands-on, constantly going to try to improve their technique and their strategies, always seeking more information and tips, and that's been very impressive and overwhelming how many of them are so engaged. So that's really cool.
Well, the other thing is, it's not just they're doing it for you, but you're giving them something that is even greater, and it's a sense of, doing something important that helps the dogs, but also it just benefits their psyche, their mental health too.
And it benefits the
Makes
community
them
at the
feel
end
good
of the day as well.
Yeah, it's very satisfying to do something that, and you see results. And I'm sure using your techniques, they probably see more results than they used to, right?
Absolutely.
Well, it's good to see them get motivated after they see, holy crap, that I couldn't do this with a dog before, and it's a lot easier than I thought. And it motivates them, right, to do more or maybe interact with a dog they wouldn't have interacted before. And that dog gets this benefit of now having these experiences with more and more people, which normalizes these experiences for this dog.
Okay, so now that everybody knows how well prepared you are and that your ability to help people beyond when they adopt, I hope a bunch of people will look at some of those photos that we've shown and come in and visit, make an appointment. And Christmas is coming up. You may have the perfect Christmas gift for some, family. So
that'd be wonderful.
I hope our viewers will think about calling and going online and checking out what the animals you've got there, and will make somebody a really happy person at Christmas or Hanukkah or Kwanzaa or whatever.
Whatever. We have one.
Yeah, right. So 15 seconds to go. Thank you so much for coming, Franco.
It's been a pleasure.
Carol, always a delight to have Carol here, and a delight to meet you. And good luck in Spain.
Thank you very much.
And I'm going to have to check you out and see if you do a podcast.
Well, I'm not leaving yet, so feel free to come by now.
All right, sounds good.
Thank you, Gloria.
All right, yeah, and thanks South Florida PBS once again for sponsoring the show. And if you haven't already seen the Da Vinci experience, actually it's going on until April.
Oh, wow.
So there's plenty of time to sign up and go see it. So until next time, have a good one. Happy holidays.